and welcome to Scare You to Sleep. I'm your host, Shelby Novak, and I'm here to read you a bedtime story. This evening's tale is perfect as a standalone bit of terror from Caroline Geary. But if you'd like more of the Grappler lore, please check out episode 305 titled The Grappler. You don't need to listen to the other to enjoy this one, but it does add some context to the references our brave protagonist makes in this one. So please enjoy The Grappler, Part 2.
I need the headlights on,
says Tom, leaning forward in the driver's seat and squinting as he slows the car to a near crawl. My head nods with each dip and divot of the country road. With only the light of the full moon and the dipped headlights of the car to guide us, we can't see more than a couple of feet in front. But we can't risk being seen. It will ruin everything, and we're pushing our luck with the headlights dipped. We need this.
No,
I say from the passenger seat before Tom can take action.
It's better to go slow than risk being seen. We're literally there. Let's not ruin it now.
Tom keeps the car crawling forward as the sat-nav tells us to
turn left in 100 yards.
We are so close. As my eyes scour the Dorset landscape surrounding us, I can hardly make anything out. The faint outline of the hills across the horizon can just about be identified by the bruised navy of the night sky, disappearing into the rolling hills. In the far distance, I can see the odd light piercing the darkness from some homes that pepper the hillsides. But they're very few and far between. Not surprising considering the hour. I'm not sure if I'm relieved the area is so cut off and remote, or whether that makes our not entirely legal trip actually stupid. All the bravado I had felt coming out here is fading fast. Actually, I'm not the one that believes in ghosts, but I do believe in other horrors. Those who walk around at night with bad intentions. I'm glad we have opted to sleep in the car. Let's face it, a tent would be impossible to erect in the dark and would be far too obvious. But the thought of being vulnerable in a tent, unlockable and easy to slash through, well, I shudder at the thought. The anticipation and dread rises in my gut as Tom turns onto a dirt track. At least if this place is unnerving me already, we should get some good content for Tom's YouTube channel. Tom's old Volkswagen Golf, which is clearly not built for off-roading, protests and creaks with each pothole we bounce over. I look at Tom's profile and he winces. Oh well, his YouTube channel, his car. I light a cigarette and roll down the window. Cool night air hits my face, a tinge of manure lacing the air, reminding me we're in farmer's territory now, far away from the hustle and bustle and safety of the big city. Really? Tom says wearily. I make a show of blowing a plume of smoke out the window and up towards the star-littered sky. The smoke dissipates, and I jump as I hear something in the field outside. A groan or moan, too close for comfort.
What the hell was that?
I hurriedly roll the window back up. Tom laughs. It's just an animal. These fields are full of cows and sheep. I laugh despite myself, still unconvinced, and draw greedily on the cigarette.
Open the window if you're smoking,
says Tom. I start to protest, but then when I look at him, I see he's smiling to himself. I'm pleased. Things have been strained between us. and me joining forces with Tom on his podcast is supposed to be bringing us closer together.
No way,
I say in mock horror.
I don't want the grappler to get me.
I'm surprised to look at his face and see him serious and not smiling. What is it? I ask.
Shit.
I follow his gaze and I look in front of us. We are still slowly rolling forward in the near pitch black, and I see the problem. A definite fly in our ointment. We have arrived at an iron 5-bar gate that is chained and padlocked within an inch of its life. We are not supposed to be here.
This wasn't there,
says Tom in disbelief, an edge of panic lacing his voice. I sit in silence. He's right. We have flown a drone over here a dozen times in preparation, and this gate, the only way into the infamous Woody Hole campsite, has always been open, always open ajar, not even shut. And here it is, very much bolted and padlocked. We can't get in. Tom slams his hands onto the steering wheel in disappointment. The action makes me jump again. My nerves are still on edge, but I'm surprised by my own relief that we may need to abort the mission. I can't explain it, but I've had a feeling of dread ever since I woke up today, and it's only grown stronger the closer we have gotten to the campsite. Maybe we should... But before I can finish my sentence, Tom has unclipped his seatbelt and is out of the car, approaching the gate. I hastily stub my cigarette out in the ashtray and call out to Tom again. I don't like it here. I feel exposed and vulnerable with Tom's passenger door wide open.
Tom, come back!
I call. I hate how pathetic my voice sounds out here. I look around me. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. Just emptiness. But I just want Tom back in the car. To my horror, I see him scale the gate with ease. He doesn't even turn to look back. Tom! I call him again with rising panic, but it's like he can't hear me, and he disappears from view on the other side of the gate, his form melting into the surrounding darkness. What the fuck? I unclip my seatbelt and lean over to pull Tom's door shut. I use the central locking to lock all the doors. A panic rising in me that I know is irrational, but my body won't listen to my brain, trying to convince myself that there is no threat out there. He'll be back in a minute, I tell myself, staring down at my hands as I pick at my cuticles, a bad habit I thought I'd broken. I'm sure something will appear in my peripheral vision any second now. A face at the window, maybe. I try not to look, but my eyes betray me, flicking up towards the darkness, hoping to see Tom coming back. Nothing. Just blackness. I've never felt like prey before. I'm going to literally kill Tom when he comes back. I grab my phone from the center console to see if I can phone him, demanding he comes back. But there's no signal out here. We knew that anyway, but I don't know what else to do. I keep my eyes firmly on the door, not wanting to catch sight of anything outside, but I'm starting to get the real feeling that I'm being watched. Adrenaline is coursing through me, telling me that I want to run, but I'll be damned if I'm leaving this car. Then I hear it. A knock on the back window. My heart and body jump so much that it makes all my nerve endings tingle. I hear it again. This time 2 knocks, slow and steady, on the back of the car. Is it Tom? It can't be Tom. Why would Tom be knocking on the car? 3 loud knocks on the back window of the car. As terror floods my very being, I try to slip down in my seat, praying I can make myself invisible to whoever or whatever is outside. I brace myself for hearing a knock again, but the next noise I hear is Tom's voice.
Kara.
His voice is muffled through the glass, but it's definitely him. It's only now I realize I'm panting quick, sharp breaths, and I sit up, relieved to see Tom's face, but my fear morphs into rage. "You fucking bastard!" I shout as I unlock the car door, hot, angry tears now flowing, diluting the fear but not the anger. "Why the fuck did you leave me?" He slips into the passenger seat beside me, and he hugs me. His stubble grazes my cheek, and I lean against him. Real, solid, and here. I was safe. "I'm so sorry," he says into my hair. "Of course I wasn't going to leave you. I did say I'd come back in a sec and to wait." "Whatever. I'm not doing this. Let's go home." I'm about to continue my protest when I see his phone in his hand and notice the camera app is open, and something occurs to me. Did you film me just then?" I say, a wave of suspicion and relief running over me. "Was it you banging on the window just then?" "What? No." Tom looks at his phone and stops recording. I was just filming walking to the gate and doing a bit of commentary." "Swear to me," I say. "You heard knocking?" Tom doesn't answer the question and turns in his seat, looking for signs of someone. "Yes," I say. "So if it wasn't you, then there is someone else here, someone who wants to scare me." "I'll check." The fact that he looks so guilty gives me an uneasy feeling. If it wasn't him trying to scare me for kicks and decent footage, then what was it? I side-eye Tom as he reaches over and rifles through the glove box. His YouTube channel, Haunted England with Tom, is everything to him, and he needs it to be a success. He gave up his job in the city for this when its popularity peaked last year, but his views have been dropping since rival YouTubers England Boo launched last month and have been an overnight success. Rather than grow slowly or organically, as Tom likes to say, they have hit the ground running with a viral pre-launch social media campaign full of engaging TikTok videos and Instagram-worthy imagery that have put Tom's efforts to shame. They had launched with a full ranch of merch, neon orange t-shirts with Boo England podcast across the front and back, a simple cartoon of a ghost sitting below the writing. The ghost was just a simplistic white sheet with large black eyes and a wide open mouth. But it was cute and had stolen their subscribers' hearts. The website sold soft plush toys of it, which had sold out the day they were released. I kicked myself for not thinking of the idea first. Merchandise was something we could only dream about on Tom's Haunted England channel. We needed to catch up, let alone catch up with them for Tom's dream to become a reality. "So what's the plan?" I say, wanting to leave, but the rational part of me knowing we have to see this through. "We don't need the car," says Tom, like it has just dawned on him, a triumphant gleam in his eye. "We don't?" My question hangs in the air as Tom is gathering up various belongings from the back seat. "Can we even leave the car here? We're blocking the..." Before I can even finish my sentence, Tom cuts in. "No one is going to come down here, Kara. It's completely deserted and it's the middle of the night. If anyone does come down here, then they shouldn't be here either." I shiver involuntarily at his words. words designed to make me feel better, but make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. "We told our fans we would film all night," he continues. "It wasn't like we were going to sleep anyway. This way we can just sit in the girls' toilets and watch and wait, and we can wander around, go in the infamous woods." He gives me puppy dog eyes, which makes me roll mine, and we set about unpacking the boot. Most of our equipment is pretty basic, so after discarding a few non-essentials, there isn't too much to carry. Not as much as I'd first thought. As I shrug on the rucksack, I'm pleased to see Tom taking the lion's share. The hardest bit is climbing the gate and lugging the backpacks over, whilst juggling torches and mobile phones. But as we start walking up the dirt track, I feel my spirits lift. I feel better than earlier. I need a drink, and I'm glad for the beers I have in my backpack, even if they are weighing me down. At least it'll be considerably lighter on the way back, I muse. "Hey, wait up!" I call, slightly breathless, as Tom gets a little ahead of me. But instead of slowing down or acknowledging me, he speeds up. "What are you doing?" I say, trying to catch up with him, but my bags are heavy, and his stride is too quick for me. As I almost catch up with him, I slow down. My heart beats loud in my ears. Tom has stopped alongside a tree. His back is toward me, and I look at him, standing there, motionless. His head is dipped in an unusual way, like he is staring intently at something on the ground in front of him. Or almost like he has fallen asleep. He looks chillingly inert. "Tom?" I say, pausing in my tracks, eager to catch up to him, but something in his unusual posture makes me stop. "What are you doing? This isn't funny," I say. "Come on, I'm bored of this. Let's get going." He doesn't move. "Okay, I'm going on without you," I say. Nothing. He still doesn't move. His body remains in exactly the same position, unmoving, chillingly so. I stride off down the muddy path, cursing as I lose my footing on the slick mud. Sure enough, it doesn't take long for me to hear the tread of feet behind me. I don't slow down, though. Let's see how he likes it. But then, I realize the footsteps behind me have stopped. I hesitate. The air is cold. There's a slight breeze in the air that wasn't there before. A cool breath gently touching my bare legs and gently lifting the light tendrils of hair that frame my face. The tangy scent of damp soil hangs in the air, and something else too. Something familiar, but also something I can't identify. The smell felt hot, sweet, and all of a sudden, dangerously near. The hairs on the back of my neck move first, then goose flesh ripples oh so softly across my skin. Oh, so slowly. Something warm touches my neck, followed by a smell like rotten, rancid breath. I swing around, not having time to register panic or anything at all. But then, before the fear can even bloom, surprise surpasses it, as there is no one there. And even more absurd, Tom is still standing where he was, facing the tree, head cocked down at an unusual angle. "Come on, this isn't funny, Tom," I shout at him. "I'll go home." I am surprised at the childlike quality in my voice, a marriage of fear and anger that hangs in the night air, suspended. I walk toward Tom, treading the line between terror and rage, until I get within touching distance of him. Surprise! He turns around in a split second with an odd contraption strapped to his head. My mouth drops open and my heart rate starts to drop. I got a new GoPro, baby! He shouts, grinning from ear to ear. We are gonna go pro! I thump his arm, too relieved to tell him how angry I really am. What the fuck? I say. Seriously, this place is creepy enough. I'm not having you play tricks on me for cheap thrills for the camera, okay? I mean it, Tom. I will go home. Okay. Tom laughs. I'm just getting you in the mood. Let's get to the site. The walk was cold and muddy. I don't mention the odd sensation and smell I had experienced to Tom. I wanted to write it off to my overactive imagination, my senses being on high alert. Now I just felt annoyed, tired, cold, and keen to go home. The moon was out now, which helped light our way. Awesome, said Tom. Look. I could see we had reached the top camping field of the notorious Woody Hole campsite. Tom passes me a second GoPro from his bag. It's all set up, he says, as he sees me turning it on and looking confused as I attempt to strap it around my head. This is kind of you, I say. Tom laughs. Well, we need me on camera too. I roll my eyes. With the cameras rolling, we look across the vast, empty fields. Tom and I never really have a plan when we film our content. We just ad-lib and refilm as we see fit. Well, this is it. The Toxic Avenger is out now. Experience the long-awaited, totally unrated Monster Mayhem exclusively in theaters. Get tickets now at tickets.toxicavenger.com. Tom's pitch and tone switch to what I call his podcast mode. Supposedly, one of the most haunted places in England. Set in the picturesque Dorset coastline, it's hard to believe anything gruesome could happen here. But this site is home to one murder and one disappearance, and, to this date, neither have been solved. Tom pauses and looks at me. How does it look on the GoPro? He is grinning from ear to ear. Good, I say, taking it off my head and watching it back. Okay, so these are amazing for point-of-view shots. And then we'll film each other on iPhones as usual if we need to, right? Tom nods absent-mindedly, looking around. How was the intro? He asks. Good, I nod. Give the detail to the murder, I say. As long as we have loads of cool shots, we can always add the voice after. Okay, in that case, let me do the honors now. I stare around me. It was both exciting and scary to be here, grisly past aside. In some ways, it was beautiful. The sky was a deep, dark blue expanse, away from the city lights. The sky was so clear. I make out a constellation that I recognize, but don't know the name of. I take a deep breath of cold night air and begin my well-rehearsed spiel. The Hyde family, who owned the farm and adjacent campsite at the time of both incidents, still own the land. No one knows what they intend to do with it, if anything. They've never commented on the events, other than to say how sorry they are that these things occurred. After Anna Samuel's death on this exact date last year, they closed the campsite and the farm, and no one has heard from them since. As my words trail off, a rustling ripples through the trees and a breeze crosses my body, making me shudder. Tom picks up from there. We did contact Mr. and Mrs. Hyde for interview, but they refused to comment. I think we should leave that bit out, I say. Tom looks at me. It's just, we haven't asked the families for comment or consent, and we're trespassing. I see the way Tom looks at me. We're YouTubers, he says. No YouTubers do that. England boo do, I say quietly as Tom rolls his eyes. I fold my arms. There's a huge backlash against true crime podcasts right now, I say. Even with recent cases, people say it's cashing in and upsetting for the families. That's why I like dealing with old hauntings. This feels like a crossover. Okay, we'll figure it out later. We know we're gonna get done for trespass when this goes viral, but let's face it, we won't get sent to prison, and it'll send the views to the show through the roof. He starts saying something else, but my eyes have started to wander across the fields where, thanks to the moonlight, I can just make out the side of the toilet block. Yes, that toilet block. Tom keeps talking, and as my eyes adjust, I make out the building in full. Then my skin prickles. Was that movement? I swear I could see something, an animal, a person, a thing, move round the corner of the building. Someone's there, I hiss to Tom. He spins around in the direction I was facing. You saw something? He says. You're filming this, right? What did they look like? I couldn't see, I say. We walk down towards the toilet block, cameras on and recording. This is it, says Tom. The first thing we may have seen, and it's on camera. Kara, tell us again what you saw. It looked like a person, I say. I walked alongside Tom, my bags feeling heavy now. I look left and right, searching for any other movement, any sign that would confirm what I'd seen. A human, an animal, a shadow. Wait, I whisper. It's not just ghosts we need to be scared of. We're trespassing too. Well, says Tom, if we get attacked, at least it'll be on film. Oh, great, I say. Very encouraging. I feel much better. I notice Tom has stopped recording. Look, he says. I'm here with you, okay? You don't have to be nervous. I relax a little. This was Tom the boyfriend, not Tom the podcaster. The side I hadn't seen in ages. He hugs me, and I hug him back. He gives me a wide grin, slightly unnerving in the moonlight, then switches his camera back on. With the camera back on, the podcaster mentality comes back into play, and in for a penny, in for a pound, I join in. What do you think you saw? Tom asks as we near the toilet block. I'm not sure, I say, which is actually the truth. I think it was a person, just by their shadow, really, by the way they moved. Hello? Tom calls out into the darkness, making me jump and putting all my senses back on high alert. There's no sign of movement in front of us. We're both silent as we walk and reach the block. Let's take some pictures, says Tom, dumping his bags on the ground. I do the same, and am glad to feel the relief of them off my shoulders. I rub the spot where the straps have been, before preparing to take some pictures with my iPhone. I photographed the row of outdoor sinks where campers would have washed their dishes and cutlery, and I peer inside. As expected, the sinks are dirty and empty, except one which has a spider poised silently near the plug hole, and another had some slightly rusted cutlery which someone had forgotten or hadn't wanted to take home. As Tom continues snapping pictures, I notice something glint in one of the sinks. I walk over and spot a kitchen knife with a sharp blade lying amongst some rusty teaspoons. I'm not sure why, but following some compulsion, I reach for it and slip it into my jacket pocket. I stare up at the sky. I watch a cloud float over the moon and take a quick selfie, fake a smile. I want to go home. "Let's go inside the toilet block," says Tom. On reaching the door, we both stare at a padlock that had once likely secured the door, laying discarded in the mud. I pick it up. "I guess this makes our lives easier." "Was it broken into?" Tom asks. "Or has good fortune been bestowed on us?" "It hasn't been forced," I say. "But there's no key." We shine our phone lights on the ground. No footprints, no sign that anyone or anything has been here. I put the padlock back through the rusty bolt on the door. The clasp falls back into place with a loud clank. Tom and I stand still, both thinking the same thing. Would that sound alert anyone nearby? Not forgetting that only moments ago I thought I'd seen someone. We remain still, waiting to hear the tell sign of footsteps telling us we are not alone. The air is still and quiet, but the temperature has dropped. I don't know if it is the advancing hour or the now cloudless sky, but it is without a doubt colder. I see a puff of cloudy breath leave Tom's mouth as he looks around. For some reason, the effect reminds me of ectoplasm, the way it is depicted in the photos of Victorian charlatans at seances. I zip my hoodie higher. Surely it was too cold for August. "Okay," I say, shaking my head, trying to rid myself of any thoughts of that nature. "Shall we go in?" Tom spins around to face me, his torch held under his chin, making his eyes dark, ghoulish pools. "Jesus," I say, then laugh, trying to get back into podcast mode. This has to be good. Once his face is no longer illuminated, his expression turns serious. "Right," he says. "For the first time, viewers are going to see the Woody Hole crime scene and what's said to be one of the most haunted places in Britain. You saw it here first. You nervous?" he asks me, still in character. "Hell yeah," I admit, my heart pounding. No need for me to act tonight. Tom opens the door. As it swings open, I hear what sounds like a rush of breath. It feels like it has come from the toilet block itself. The noise hits me before the smell does. They say on TV and in true crime documentaries, even if you've never smelled death before, the rot and decay, you know it when you do. I turn, covering my face with my hoodie sleeve, trying not to gag. "Jesus!" Tom jumps back instinctively. "Wow," he says, nervously laughing. "It definitely smells like something died in there."
"Tom," I hiss. "That's really insensitive. You'll have to edit that out."
Cautiously, we walk back towards the open door. I have to admit, this was spooky as hell and was going to make excellent footage. I let Tom walk ahead. Part of me doesn't want to follow him in. How does it smell? I ask, lingering outside. Gross, but not as bad as you'd imagine, he answers as I edge toward the door and finally step inside. With relief, we discard our bags on the floor, which is as grimy as you would expect, with stains and dust and dry leaves littering the cracked tiles. I'm crazy to think I could sit down here, let alone sleep in here. I look around. God, I mutter. I don't even want to look in the stalls. Lucky you have me. Tom laughs as he walks into the first of 5 stalls. I take a moment to take in my surroundings, hand still over my mouth and nose, even though most of the rotten odor had dissipated into the night. Don't look in the toilets, I counter. The electricity doesn't work, I add, jiggling an ancient wall switch to no effect. So the plumbing sure as hell doesn't. I've taken some good photos. Do you think I should upload some to social media? I ask. Give the fans a taster? Sure, says Tom. The inside of the infamous toilet block is exactly as I expected. Old and shabby. Cobwebs everywhere. Peeling paint. We were going to have an uncomfortable night. The floor is dirty, discolored with cracked tiles. I pick a dead leaf off the floor and it crumbles like ash in my hand. Do you think we should be doing this? I ask. For ratings, I mean. People died here, isn't it a bit... Tom comes up beside me, irritation in his eyes. It's natural to feel that way, he says. You do because you're a good person. And you don't feel bad because... My words fade, the implication hanging in the air. Look, Kara, he says kindly. This is my job, our dream, our future. If we don't make this video, someone else will. At least we can handle it sensitively. You'll have sign-off on the final edits. We can do a tribute to the girls at the end if you want. You mean that? I ask, searching his eyes. Of course I do. Tom begins to unpack some items from his rucksack. Let's sit and have something to eat, he says. Really? In here? The height of hygiene? Tom laughs, and we collapse onto my old yoga mat, grab a Coke each, and share a packet of crisps for what is a companionable couple of silent minutes. So, now we wait, Tom says. Then, a moment later. So, Kara, if you need to pee, you'll have to, He nods toward a cubicle. Absolutely not, I snort. The smile drops from my face, though, as one cubicle door opens slowly, its creak drawn out and scratchy, like a dying breath. Fuck, I say. Did you get that on camera? I turn to face Tom, who looks more astounded than I feel. Yes, he says. Yes, oh, wow. Well, viewers, we may have our first sign of paranormal activity of the... Before he can finish, the second cubicle door also creeps open with the same spine-tingling groan of a hinge. Oh, fuck. What's behind door number 2? Tom says. I can't tell if his voice is shaking with fear, excitement, panic, or something else. So, he continues, there is definitely something going on here, something supernatural. Before he can continue, I find the power to move again and spring to my feet. Let's get out of here. Tom looks at me, wild indignation in his eyes. No, this is the best thing ever. This is... Before he finishes, the door to the toilet block slams shut. We spin around, and I feel my blood run cold as I hear the unmistakable clunk of a padlock. Not caring what Tom thinks, I run to the door and push against it. It doesn't move. I push and push. A wave of panic builds inside me, but the door won't budge. I refuse to give up, refuse to accept I'm locked in here, and pray it is just stiff from years of being closed up, and that maybe the wind slammed it shut and I didn't hear the padlock locking. Tom joins me, giving it a mighty shove with his shoulder, but it's no use. Relief starts to quell the rising panic as the door shifts, but only slightly before hitting resistance. We look at each other, horrified. It is padlocked. Can you kick it down? I ask, the foul smell that had greeted us on arrival hitting us again. Tom's face shows he smells it too. Fuck this, he says, and kicks the door hard twice, then gives up. What the fuck? I say. Ghosts don't lock padlocks, Tom replies. People do. It's a prank. A prank, best case, I say. Worst case, the angry owners are going to leave us here till morning. Hey, I call. Hey, who's that? Can you let us out? We wanted it. Silence. I knew I saw someone earlier, I say. I knew it. Should we phone for help? I ask Tom. He considers this, then says, No, just wait. We shouldn't be here, but we're getting excellent footage. I'm sure whoever it is will let us out. Come on, shouts Tom. I know we shouldn't be here. Look, we'll pack our things and delete the footage. No answer. I strain to listen for people outside. Nothing. They'll get bored, Tom says. Come, sit. He sits back on his yoga mat, takes a beer from my bag, and I slump down beside him. You saw it first, Tom says into his phone to our audience. We've seen evidence of paranormal activity, experienced something we believe to be human, but things move in mysterious ways. We'll just... Again, Tom couldn't finish. The main lights flicker on, and the hand dryer springs to life, loud and jarring, making me jump. Fuck this, I say. I don't like this. Call someone to get us out. This isn't funny anymore. But we came for ghosts, Tom says, madness in his eyes. And we got ghosts. I don't think it's ghosts, I say. It's people, and they're worse. I think they're fucking with the electrics from outside. I'm not so sure, Tom says, as the lights drop and, thankfully, the hand dryer stops. The doors, the smell, no rational explanation for that. I stand, intending to size up the small windows above to see if we can climb out. Clearly, no one was coming to save us. They're too high for me to reach standing. The windows are frosted and yellowed with age. I kneel on the sink edge for balance. Be careful. Tom's voice is thin and shaky. I don't know how I'll react if I can't get out. Fuck the podcast, I am going to call the police. But before I get the chance, a face appears at the window, blurred by the yellowing frosted glass, but a face nonetheless.
A whimper escapes me, and I freeze under something's glare. I couldn't see clearly through the frosted glass, but I saw enough to know it wasn't human. Its feet didn't touch the ground. The window it stared through had to be 9 feet off the floor. Its mouth stretches into a grin far wider than any humans could. It runs its fingernails or claws down the glass, scratching faster and louder till I jump back from the rush of adrenaline. I drop to the floor and look at Tom.
What the fuck was that noise?
He whispers, half to himself and half to me.
Phone the police,
I say. It was all I could think to say. Tom grabs his phone as the scratching starts at the bathroom door. Then I hear the clunk of a padlock, the sound of the door being unlocked. I grab Tom's arm and drag him into a cubicle with me. We slam and lock the door. Tom and I press ourselves against the wall as the toilet block door swings open. Tom looks ready to call 999. Wait, I mouth. The first steps I hear entering the block sound almost delicate. A soft pat, then another, quicker, like bare flesh smacking against the tiles. It wasn't the heavy tread of boots or trainers. Then came the scrape, a sharp, dry sound like claws dragging just before the next step landed. The rhythm was wrong, too fast and light for a human gait. Not footsteps, I think. My heart hammering. Not human ones, anyway. I try not to make a sound, but I feel like my breathing is 1,000 decibels. Damn. It probably hears my heart. Suddenly, silence. I hear thin, unhuman breathing outside the door. Then, a scratching. The sound of claws running the length to the door. I put my finger to my lips. Tom is shaking. Then, out of nowhere, a musical chime pierces the silence. We both jump. The chime came from a pocket, my phone, an alarm I set to remind me when it was midnight. Reflexively, I reach into my pocket. My fingers graze the phone, but also the knife I'd picked up earlier. Fight or flight kicks in, and before I know it, the knife is in my hand. I unbolt the locked cubicle door, kick it open, and wildly wield the knife, slashing, stabbing, screaming, hacking at whatever is there. Then Tom shouts my name, and I stop. I look down. Only it isn't an it. It's a man. Or at least, it used to be. His eyes stare blankly at the ceiling, unseeing, frozen in panic for eternity. A pool of blood blooms beneath him, soaking into the floor. His clothes are in ribbons, his body covered in blood. I can still make out the orange t-shirt and the logo across the front. It reads, Boo England Podcast. The end. Thanks for listening, and thank you so much to my author this week, Caroline Geary. I always love hearing from you. Big fan of your work. I don't know if I've told you that lately, and I thought this was a very fitting follow-up to The Grappler. I love that it is something you could listen to or read independent of the other. I think that was a genius way of following up your brilliant first story. And let's see. Oh, if you'd like more of this show, you can join the Patreon, patreon.com/scareyoutosleep. And if you'd like to follow along for any updates or what have you. You can follow it on social media at scareyoutosleep, and you can follow me personally at Shelby B. Novak. I mostly stick around Instagram these days, I will say, but the Facebook group has been still really poppin', and there's Scare You to Eat, which is another Facebook group, which is where you can post about your food. Sometimes I post in there as well. And yeah, so have at it. If you'd like a story considered for the show, please send it to scareyoutosleep@gmail.com. I would like to say, I don't know why I've gotten a couple of these in a row recently, but if you have a true story and a fictional story you'd like considered, please send them separately and label them in the subject line, true story and fictional submission, please, because I can't categorize them properly if they're both in the same email. So please send them separate of each other. Thank you. If you do have like several true story submissions or several fictional ones, you can keep those in the same email. But if I can't mix and match the fictional and true. So thank you. I had a little uptick in that recently. Oh, and a reminder that I am still looking for kids' stories. The deadline is October 1st, so please send in your kids' stories. So excited to read them. And just again, subject line, kids story submission, kids story, some way to let me know it's a kid's story so I can properly categorize that. Sorry for any noise in the background, by the way. I think all of my neighbors got together and didn't tell me that it's door slamming hour, and we're all supposed to be slamming our doors. I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. I don't know what's happening out there, but so apologies if you can hear a bunch of noises out there. Thank you, though, to all of you who came to Creep IECon and came to say hello. I really appreciate you stopping by and getting to see you, and it made my day. And it always makes me feel cool in front of my friends whenever someone's like, hey, I listened to your show. So it's really great to see you. Some of you had some very kind words for me. One of you in particular literally made me like I needed a moment afterwards because it was making me tear up, and it was just so kind of you to, it's always kind of you to tell me nice things like that, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your trip around the convention floor to say such nice things, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly, and thank you so much. And I had such a great time there. I think I'm going to talk about it more in a ramble on Patreon, so I don't take up too much of your time here for those who are not as interested in the rambles. As for Baking Corner, what did I make this week? Oh, I made a classic. I made a French yogurt cake with Tangelo and navel orange. I just love citrus flavors right now. And I also kind of made it into an olive oil cake. I used olive oil as the fat instead of butter or a neutral oil. I've just really been loving, I guess it's my goodbye to summer, this like really fruity like olive oil and citrus, these olive oil and citrus flavors that are very bright. And olive oil just adds such a beautiful brightness to a cake. And so that's what I've been really enjoying lately is like these olive oil citrus cakes. Because I believe I told you about the one I made last week, which was a Tangelo olive oil cake. That one just did not have, it wasn't a French yogurt cake. That was an Italian recipe. So I don't know. It's just been my jam lately. Okay, I think that's all I needed to cover. No updates other than, Halloween season is upon us. It's coming up, and I have a lot of great ideas for it, a lot of great things. And yes, there will be an RSLE part 3. I promise, I pinky promise. You can't see me, but I'm literally holding my pinky up here. Can you hear that? That's my pinky. I'm pinky promising you there will be an RSLE part 3. And there are other fun stuff, like guided nightmares. I was just telling a friend of mine that sometimes I get messages that are like, oh, it seems like you're not doing the guided nightmares anymore. I really like them. Are you ever going to do them again? And I'm always like, what? Question mark? I'm like that meme with the question marks above my head. And I'm like, I still do the guided nightmares. I don't realize how few and far between they have become, and I apologize for that. I've mentioned before, they're a little difficult to write, just in the way that makes me happy. I get a little perfectionist about them and the content in them, and so that is on me. I have several I have a file that has all of them. I have several that I've started and never finished, and so I'm trying to maybe finish some of those, but I also know that I've gotten suggestions over the years for settings that people would like. I think I've gone through a few of those though, but if you ever have any settings you'd like to suggest, feel free to email me, feel free to post them in the Facebook group or on Instagram. Feel free to let me know any suggestions you would have for settings, because that's a little bit difficult, as well as figuring out where you'd like to go in these guided nightmares. I have places I'd like to go, and I've taken you to those places, but where would you like to go? Or even, I sometimes would like to revisit some of the locations, like the fall festival, like the Halloween carnival I did one year. But I don't know if anyone would be interested in revisiting some of the places, like the train or the snowy manor, or let's see, where else could we revisit? The swamp, the Victorian manor, lots of places to revisit. But I don't know if you'd like to revisit. Maybe you only want to move forward and move on to different things. I also have been really loving the decompression episodes. I've only done 2 of them, but they're a lot of fun to do, but I don't like to do them too often. I like to kind of, again, make them a decompression in between several regular guided nightmares. And so let me know if you like those as well, the decompression episodes. I have a lot of fun making them, but this is about you. So, okay, I am going to let you go, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Here in LA, we finally got a little bit of fall weather, like just the tinge of fall weather, some fall breezes. I think it's going to be back up to being hot again next week, but c'est la vie. But we're getting a little bit of fall-ishness, so very excited about that. And I hope you have a fantastic evening and a fantastic weekend. There's that door slamming again. Go get some sleep. Sweet dreams.